Bam. Okay, not doing like that.
Okay, you guys. Bam Jam team call. Sorry about that confusion. We are, what's the date? February 12th. Oh my goodness. So we are so excited. We just want to talk to you guys today about the conference that we attended last week in LA. And this is a Beachbody conference. It's called New Leaders Conference. And this is a really special one. And this is actually a conference that I didn't even know existed for the first little while. And I'm sure most of you are probably like wondering, even when we were going, you guys were probably like, what is this, right? We've heard of Summit. We know what Summit is. That's the big annual Beachbody event. The New Leaders Conference is one that's kind of like, I don't know, for me, it was really quiet. So a New Leaders Conference is actually a conference, again, held by Beachbody, and it is for brand new 1-star coaches. So you have hit 1 star and within the last year, you get an invite to go to this conference, but you can only go one time. So once you've hit it and you go, that's it. You can't go back again unless you're asked to speak or be there on behalf of Beachbody corporate type of thing. So this is a really cool conference.
Yeah.
And if you ever get to qualify for this conference, wait, let me rephrase that. When all of you qualify for this conference, I would highly recommend that you take time out of your calendar to try and make sure that you are there.
Yeah.
Next year, the conference, normally the conference is in LA up to this point that I'm aware of anyways, it's been in LA. Next year, the conference is in February and it's going to be in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
So fun location. It's something that I don't think we really knew what to expect. So Jer qualified and Shorty qualified as well as 1-star coaches, which is honestly insane that there was 2 people from Fam Jam that had qualified to go.
Yeah.
And next year, I know that there's going to be, I feel like there's going to be 10 of us.
Yeah,
next year, because there's a lot of us who are right on that cusp, who have either hit diamond or we are right on that cusp of developing a new diamond and becoming 1-star. So I think the main point is really understanding what 1-star diamond coach is, because that can be really confusing for people. So to get an invite, you need to be a diamond coach yourself. And one of your PS coaches, it doesn't matter what leg they're on, it's just one of your coaches is a diamond coach as well. And whenever you create a diamond on your team, it essentially gives you a star. Now, as you get above 1 star and up, you have to equal those out. Don't worry about that. For 1 star, you just need 1 diamond on your team. So that diamond could be a working coach, or it could be a scouts account. You could legit build yourself to a 1-star diamond by building your account to diamond and then building a spouse account or a controlled account, whether it's like a family member or a parent, best friend, whoever it is. That's really how you can control getting an invite to this conference. It's a 2-day conference, and I'm just going to flip it over. Unless anyone has questions about kind of what I just explained, if it wasn't clear enough, you can ask in the chat. But what we really want to do is, well, there was 400 people there. Jer spoke at this conference, which was also pretty insane. And we shared what he said in the Fam Jam Empire Facebook group. So if you guys want to see that video, you can go ahead and watch that. When do you have to qualify by?
Last week of November.
You
have to hold it for 6 weeks. And your last week of qualification is the last week of December. So 6 weeks from the last week of December is going to be mid-November-ish.
I will find out exactly while they're talking, and I'll tell you guys exactly what it is. So yeah, anyways, 2-day conference. They both attended. I think you both got different takeaways based on kind of how you work the business and where you guys are at in the business. So we just wanted to have them share their takeaways with you guys and some of the important things that some of the top leaders were sharing. And a cool thing before you go, one of the main speakers was actually attended last year, the conference, as a 1-star diamond coach, and she landed top 10.
A 10-star top 10.
Like, she literally took everything that she could and applied it into her business right away, and like it just exploded. So I thought that was a pretty cool story.
Yeah.
Anyways,
And just to
I'll pass it
answer
over
your
to you.
question, Amy, how do you lose it? How do you not hold it? So say, for example, you're diamond and one of your coaches goes diamond. That coach has to remain diamond for 6 weeks. So if they lose a coach or they don't have enough PV or something happens where they drop their rank, you also would drop as a 1-star. You would go back down to diamond. So you have to, you kind of both, that's where the team effort comes in. Like when you get into multiple star diamonds, it's truly a team thing where like you all work together to hold your rank so that you can maintain whatever rank you're hitting.
And
right?
I think too, like the whole concept of like holding your rank, ultimately you're constantly building and constantly growing. So yes, there's going to be a period where you feel like you're holding it, because you get to that benchmark, and then it's like getting to the next benchmark, but then things really kind of start to snowball. And it's very natural to fall in and out of rank. So if you ever fall out of rank or go back in, like happens all the time.
Oh yeah, some of the top 10 coaches have dropped
So
in and out of rank.
you would have to qualify by November 26th.
There you go.
So you'd have to wake up on November 26th as a 1-star diamond coach. That would be the very last date in order to qualify for the conference next year. Well, let's make that like September.
Yeah.
Kidding.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna pass it over to Shorty. Shorty, take it away.
Yeah, make it September, guys. Don't do it last minute. That sucks. And yeah, just on what Shalene was saying about it building, you can kind of get yourself there by building a Spez account. That's how I got there. So I made my husband's account. I made myself diamond, and then I made my husband's account diamond. So you can do it on your own. Okay. Obviously it's harder because then you're trying to like really manage a lot yourself, but and you know, yeah, like Jer helped me. He kept me accountable. Like he would message me, be like, hey, you have somebody who's gonna like drop their PV. Like it's really was a team thing, like right up literally until like I think 11:30 on the night before I had to, like it honestly was like right up until the end. So it's possible, and you can do it if you just keep pushing for it and you want it bad enough. So I did my takeaways based on the themes that I was hearing. And guys, these are all things that every single one of you has probably heard from the Crush Nation calls, from Jer and Shalene, from National Wake Up calls. Like you've probably heard this 1,000,001 times. But these were the themes, and these are from your leaders. Like these are from the top people in the company. This is from the woman who went 10-star, top 10 in 11 months, right? So less than that actually. So, you know, like these are what they're saying. So you can keep hearing it and letting it go in one ear and out the other, or you can take it and apply it. So theme number 1, stay in your own lane. Stop comparing yourself to other people. Stop looking at other coaches and try to be those coaches. You are not going to be authentic if you are trying to show up as somebody else. If somebody wants to follow Shalene, they're going to go follow Shalene. So if you're trying to be Shalene, they're not going to believe you. People will see right through you. They're smart. You have to be you, or people are going to not see it. I was literally just talking to somebody at my house who I'm trying to get join us. She's still a little apprehensive, but I will get her eventually. She said to me, what I like about you is that you're real. She said, I see other people doing this and they put on that fake smile and I delete them. So this is from somebody who's been turning me down for probably over a year, who just said to me, I know I don't want to do this, but I keep following you because you're real. Because I'm show up like me, right? I can only be me. So be you. Stop following other people. Stop trying to do what they do. Just be you, and people will appreciate that, right? Okay, so that was theme number 1, stay in your own lane. Theme number 2, consistency. Consistency, guys. You have to keep going. You guys all know my story. And if you don't, that's for another day. But you have to show up. I don't care what's going on in your life. If you want to go somewhere in this business, if you want to make something of this business, on those days when it's hard, you have to show up. You have to, for your business, right? Like, you know, you can take the time you need to do what you have to do, but you still have to show up. Like, I couldn't just not show up for work. I had to go to work or I'm going to lose my job. So if I care that much about a job that I really don't care about, why can't I care about my business? Why is that the first thing to go when things get hard? This is your business. You have to treat it as such. So you have to remain consistent no matter what. Just keep going, one foot in front of the other. Some days I show up and it's not so great, but I still show up. Other days I show up like an MF boss. Like, you know, it just depends on what's going on in your life, but you still got to show up. So consistency. Number 3, you have to control your business. Don't let your business control you. So that means you have to take charge of your time. That's what I took from it, right? Like, time was a big one for me. I choose where I direct my time, who I give my time to, how I spend my time. If my life is controlling me, I have zero control over things. Things are going to not be organized, right? You need to give your time to the people that want your time and who earn your time, because if you're not, then you're wasting time building your own business, right? So you really have to make sure that you have control over the actions that you're doing and not doing things for the sake of doing it. Like, one of the examples was, don't just do a free group because everyone else is doing a free group. There has to be a reason behind it. You have to have a reason, right? You control your business. Don't let it control you. 4, believe in yourself. So one of the big things that was said that was, why not you? These are normal, regular people. Why aren't any of us standing up on that stage? They are not any better than us. They don't have any more training than us. They're doing their vital behaviors. They're remaining consistent, and they truly believe that they belong up there. And if you don't believe that, you won't ever get there. So one of the things that one of the coaches said was, imagine yourself as a leader. That's what flipped the switch for her. She imagined herself as a leader. What does a leader look like? Who's the leader that I want to be? What does she look like? What does she do? What are her action steps? Like, what are the things that she's doing? And truly believe that you can do that, right? Like, you have to believe it. If you don't believe it, if you have that doubt in your mind, you won't ever get to where you want to be. You have to let go of any doubt that you have that you can't do it. Like, can't should not be in your vocabulary. And then the 5th thing that I took away was tracking. So the quote that actually kind of like, or the statement that actually stuck out with me that I wrote down is, if you're not tracking, you don't have a business, you have a hobby. That was huge. I was like, oh my God, yeah, that's so true, right? If you're not tracking even on the basic level, right? Keeping track of who you've spoken to, keeping track of who you've invited, keeping track of what their response was, where you invited them from. You know, if you're not keeping track of any of that stuff, you have nobody to follow up with because you're not keeping track. You get lost, then you've wasted time, then your business is controlling you because you've lost control of it because you're not tracking it. You need to know what's going on, and we have a great back office. We have a business activity tracker. We have so many different ways that we can keep track. I made my own method that works for me, right? Because this is me. I have to show up as me. I have to do what works for me. I can't copy other people. It doesn't work for me. So you have to track. Being able to track allows you to have a plan. Having a plan is going to get you closer to where you want to be. So, the number one thing is, Keely, like that business activity tracker should be like in your back pocket at every second, right? If you're not using the business activity tracker or some form of it, trust me when I say you're not going to get anywhere in this business. And I learned the hard way because I did 6 months of not using it. And that was 6 months of income that I was just like, see you later, right? Like, because I didn't use it. So I didn't think I needed to, right? But when you've got thousands of coaches telling you you need to, you have to listen at some point, right? So it's not always going to be perfect. You're not always going to check off the boxes, or all of the boxes, but you need to be pulling it out every day and you need to be using it. So those were my 5. Did I stick to my time? I tried to go really fast.
That was incredible.
Yeah, no, that was awesome.
So many good nuggets.
Yeah, so I'm not going to try and repeat a lot of it, although I will kind of piggyback on tracking. That was kind of a big takeaway for me too, because that's where I feel like I'm lacking. Not in a sense of like tracking business activities. I know I'm doing that. It's actually tracking the conversations, because I was literally just scrolling through my DMs and like, oh, there's someone that I've sent information to. I need to follow up with them. And I know for a fact I was losing people. So we actually just switched over to Streak and started inputting. I spent all day
And
yesterday
here's the
inputting into
thing.
that.
Here's the thing with tracking. You will evolve with your business and how you need to track. And so for us in the beginning, I feel like I have notebooks upon notebooks, like so many notebooks of just names of people.
Yeah.
And it worked for me in the beginning. But now I'm at a point where I've invited for a year and a half. So to go back and follow up with all of those people in DMs, that is a lot of time for me to have to go and do that. So I'm really focusing on getting emails, because I can use the system called Streak. There is a call on Streak. Danielle did a call for us a while back. You can Google it or search it up in the Fan Empire group. But I'm slowly transitioning to collecting emails, because I can literally send out one follow-up email to hundreds of people instead of sifting through all of my messages. And I can use that time to connect with new people and build new connections and to continue and keep going. And so for me, it was really just like, I really felt for the last 6 months that tracking for us has been a challenge.
Yeah.
And we've really started to just lean into a system that is working really, really well. Now, that being said, there's going to be you're going to be at different stages in your business, and that might not work for you, and that's okay. I want you guys to find the system that works for you. I track completely different than Shori does. Her system does not work for me. My system does not work for her.
Yeah.
But we both have a system that now is working. So really just try it and try out a different system of tracking, just to make sure that it's jiving with the way that you build your business and the way that you work your business, because we all really do have our own little flair on how we work this business. So just identify that. We will share exactly how we are setting up our Streak for everyone, because it is brand new.
Yeah.
And I'm going to drop in the files section. I actually have an Excel spreadsheet, a tracker sheet from Lindsay Matway. She shared it with all of us. So I'm going to drop that into FamFam files section as well. So it's a really basic Excel tracker.
For brand new coaches.
Yeah, it's super simple, but it's going to tell you what you should be tracking. Because I think that's kind of the question sometimes. It's like, what do I track? Because you could track a gazillion different metrics.
And the thing I loved about Streak so far is you can actually set alarms. So you can set a reminder. So let's say, for example, you're talking to someone, they're like, hey, I'm pregnant, reach back to me in March. I can set an alarm in March, and in March, I'll get an email saying, follow up with this person, which is super efficient and super easy. But
or
again,
even from now until then, you can set alarms every month to make sure that you go and love on their posts.
Yeah.
And that it's not just about the invite, right? So it's working better for us anyways.
Yeah.
That's a bit on track.
But one of the points I took away was from Melanie Mitro, who's a top coach in this business for many, many years. And she talked about self-belief and just believing in yourself. And if you set up a vision board, whatever you put on that vision board, believe that it's going to come true. Don't just be like, oh yeah, that's going to be really cool when that happens. No, believe that that's going to happen. You got to believe in yourself in order for yourself to get there. And the way that she said is that you always want to stay in phase one, meaning you always want to spend the majority of your time as a coach in the vital behaviors. So inviting, follow up, connecting, all those things. You want to spend the majority of your time there. If you're a brand new coach, 100% of your time is in the vitals. If you are a diamond coach, then you are going to spend 80% of your time in the vitals and 20% of the time on your coaches, which I think we lost a little bit, where maybe we were spending a little bit too much time somewhere where she says, if you're not controlling your own funnel with this business, meaning if you're not inviting and you're not adding people, your business is going to drop. So you need to stay in phase one as much as you can. So if you're brand new, you're there 100% of the time. If you're a diamond or above, then you're in there 80% of your time, 20% you're building your coaches.
I'll piggyback on that, because that was hard for me to do, you guys. It was really hard. As you build a team, you start to feel responsible for other people's success. Mm-hmm. And no one is responsible for your success but you. And that is a really hard thing, though, especially as a new coach, and you are so excited and you're building a team and you guys want to do everything together all the time. And I really want to like hammer that home to just caution the amount of time you guys spend planning or helping them find information in the training or creating pretty graphics or email templates or your free group stuff. Like all of that stuff can be wonderful, but like split up the tasks even between the team so that you guys are really collaborating and contributing that way. But ultimately it becomes down to, this is your business, and really focus on initiating those connections, inviting, and follow-ups.
Yeah.
And then 20% of your time on all your other tasks and messages and DMs and tags from all your coaches. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And another thing that kept coming up was personal development. If you're not doing personal development every day, success leaves clues. And when you look at all of these, big time speakers like Tony Robbins and Rachel Hollis and all, they're all doing personal development every day. It's like non-negotiable. And that came up quite a bit. So for me, I mean, we do personal development every day, but they just really stress the importance of it. And I know for me specifically, over this past year with all the struggles we went through, personal development was my outlet that kind of guided me out of the struggles that I was in. Obviously the support that I had from you guys and from Shalene, but personal development was huge on that. So I'm a huge advocate for that. So if you're not doing personal development, or you don't have a podcast or a book that you're reading right now, reach out to us or reach out to your coach, and we'll definitely get you set up with one, because there are thousands and thousands and thousands of books and podcasts out there that are super helpful.
And read what you need. It's really easy to just listen to anything. It's really easy to just grab a book. If you start reading a book and you're like, ew, I can't get through this first chapter of Grow Out Your Face is terrible, but everyone said it's amazing and I'm supposed to love it, don't read it. Like, give it to a friend. Go with what you need at this season in your life, because I know I just kind of grabbed whatever I was told to grab in the beginning, and then I started to kind of like figure it out, and I was like, oh, okay, this is really a limiting belief I have for me in this business. So I'm going to try and identify what this is, and I'm going to try and address it. We have done more personal growth in the past year and a half that has come from this business.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the one thing that I absolutely love, is that we preach to literally deal with your shit.
Yeah.
Like, own it and go with it and work through it and feel it and lean into community, because you need the support to get through it. And you're not going to find the success that you're looking for in this business if you still have all those anchors from your past holding you down. This is the place where we really turn in and we work on ourselves. And I promise you, as you work on yourself, you will start to see things change in your business. You start to see new growth happening, and you're like, whoa, where did that come from? Like, what's going on? And it's likely because you've had a breakthrough personally somewhere, and you've shattered a glass ceiling somewhere, and you might even not realize it, or maybe you're feeling it. But that's generally where you start to see you level up in your business. So if you're feeling a little bit stagnant or you're feeling a little bit stuck, get a different personal development book, or listen to a new podcast, or start talking to any of us. Start talking to chat, start talking to your coach, and just be like, I can't figure this out. Like, I have a block, but I can't figure it out. And let's see if we can even chat it out. Because I promise you that block will lift so much pressure off of you and your business. I can say that because I've had 7 failed businesses.
Yeah. Another thing that kind of stood out to me was treating your challenge groups like a team environment as we would this group. And I think that's kind of where maybe I've dropped the ball a little bit. I really treat this group here, Fam Jam Empire, as a family, where the challenge group I just treat it as a challenge group. And you need to create that team environment in there, because they talked a lot about trust and like keeping your clients in that trust factor so that they trust you and they can come to you with all their struggles and all their successes. And one of the key phrases that kind of stuck out to me from Kevin Shaw, who's a little bit outside the boundaries, but he said, if you don't want to get pregnant, don't buy dollar store condoms. And for me, that stuck out to me, because he's like, it's the same thing. Like, if you don't want to mess things up, don't break your trust. Same thing. If you don't want to get pregnant, Don't buy a condom that's going to break. You know, so I thought that stood out. And for me, like that sentence alone is going to stick with me. And it's going to remind me all the time. Another thing they talked about was don't overcomplicate things. A lot of times we get, and we've had this conversation before, and one of the phrases that stood out for me from Arnaud Nakao, who is one of the corporate mentors, he said, complexity is the enemy of execution. Simplicity makes it easy to duplicate. The second that we start to complicate things, it makes it very hard to duplicate. And this business is all about duplication. So we need to keep our systems simple so that as new coaches come on, it's systems that can easily be duplicated, and it's not something where they have to go create these fancy websites or pages and landing pages and all this. It's like, gotta be simple.
And we are going to launch into the brand new program of 10 rounds.
Yeah.
Super simplified, just so you know. Shorty and I had already talked about it, and we're not doing an info group for 10 rounds. More information will come, but I just want you guys to know we're keeping it super simple, and we are going to empower you guys with the information that you need and the tools that you need. It's super basic. We're not going to overcomplicate it. We're not going to make this like flipping people back and forth between Instagram and email and Facebook and then back to email. And then it's too much. And I think we're losing a lot of people in the mix. So we're really going to streamline this. We're going to make it super simplified. And I'm really excited for it. Really excited for it. I think it's going to be powerful for you guys as a tool to use. So anyways.
And the last thing that I just want to touch on before we kind of close out here is they really talked about honing in on your why and figuring out how to get through those struggles. Because let's be honest, this business is hard. There are months that can go really well, and there are months that are a struggle. And what's going to get you through that struggle? And an exercise we did, and Tara, you don't have to do this one if you don't want to, but I want all of you to grab your phone, and I want you to open it, go to your pictures, and I want you to scroll through your pictures. Okay, go ahead, grab your phones. I want to see you guys do this. Grab your phones, scroll through your pictures, and I want you to find that person or those persons that you would do absolutely anything for, that have your back, that when you need them in a heartbeat or a drop of a dime, they're going to be there for you. I want you to stop on that picture when you got that. And the exercise they told us is, does everyone have that picture? Nod yes if you have it.
Give them a second.
Yeah. So scroll through, you find those pictures, you found that person or persons. And when you found them, the next time this business gets hard, I want you to imagine yourself, you're in front of that person and you tell them that they're not worth it. That it's too hard and you can't do it. And for me, like that was an eye-opening thing for me because I've got a pretty tight why. And for me, when we did that exercise, I'm in this room and I have tears running down my face because I know that I can't tell that person that they're not worth it. No matter how hard this business gets, no matter how shitty the month is, I can't tell that person they're not worth it. So if it takes 5 minutes for me to send out 10 more invites because it's hard, then I'm going to do that because I could never tell this person here that she's not worth it. So I thought that exercise was really cool.
You're going to have to close us out.
Yeah. Guys, this business is amazing. It provides like incredible opportunities. It's tough, like any business. If it was easy, everyone would do it. But we have to find a way to fight through those tough months. And the ones that do fight through those tough months, success will come. It will, I promise.
We've had a lot of crappy months in this business. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of months where we actually had 3 months where we thought we were gonna have to shut this down.
Yeah.
And it was threatened to be taken away from us.
Not because we wanted to, because it was a BSID
stuff happening at work, and it was hard. It was really, really hard. And having to build again from those months that we really had to just kind of like halt and put on a brave face, like nothing was wrong and everything's great and life is, this is fantastic. We've had a lot of those months, and I promise you it's worth it when you keep pushing forward. And I was really in California for a vacation. I was the tag along, but
She kept me calm.
I tell you, the connection that I have with these humans that we speak to like this through, you're just all little squares on my computer screen, but you guys are so much more than that.
Yeah.
You guys truly mean so much to us. And when you start to build a really great team, which all of you are doing, it just really fulfills you. Like,
Yeah.
my soul just feels so good whenever I see any of your faces. And that for me is what kind of keeps me going in those hard times in this business. So I love that exercise. I hope you guys found value in that.
And the opportunity of getting to speak on stage at any event, whether it's like a local event or a major event like that, I hope that you all at some point get to experience that, because I was beyond nervous to the point where we were down in Santa Monica, and I couldn't even enjoy the day. I couldn't even enjoy the view, and it was beautiful. But like, I was so stressed out about speaking in front of 400 people that I just couldn't enjoy anything. And when I got up there and started sharing my story, like, everything kind of went away, and I made this big scary feat to be more than it actually was. And the impact that it had in that room from the feedback that I got from people there was like, I hope you all get to experience that one day, because it was absolutely life-changing and incredible. And whether it's 2 people in a room or 400 people in a room, I can honestly tell you it's not much different.
And I think at the end of the day, it's no different than speaking on social media.
Yeah.
And we all think we don't matter. We all think our story is too small to share. And we all think that it's insignificant, and it's not. Your story is yours, nobody else's. There's no shame around whatever that story is, good or bad. You don't have to have gone through this like big, huge, like dramatic event. Like, you don't have to make it this big thing or being a victim of anything. If it happened to you and you are, that's okay too. But know that regardless of where you are at, your story matters. You matter. And you will impact lives as you start to unravel that a little bit and start to share it with everyone. Because we've had so many people reaching out, and even people reaching out to me saying like, my husband's going through the same thing. Like, oh my gosh, thank you for sharing. I have 3 kids too. Like, how do you manage all of the things? And it starts conversation and connection, and it's pretty incredible. It's a pretty incredible feeling. Okay, does anyone have any questions? We're gonna try and wrap this up here. Does anybody have any questions or like final thoughts on anything we shared tonight? It was a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you, Shorty. Amy, just responding to your thing, the Nourish Info group, very busy and hard to bring people into.
Yeah.
Not one of the most successful information groups that I've ever run. No. That is not something that we will do again. It was way too chaotic. No one could follow who was posting what information they're supposed to be following. I found it just way too much, honestly. In my books, it was kind of a fail. Yeah. First time that it's been like collaborated that way with so many different leaders, and it was just
which I think is the issue.
It was just way too much.
There's too many hands in the pot.
People didn't know what the heck was going on in that group, and it was way too many videos for people to try and like catch up on. People are busy. They don't have that much time to be watching all the videos that were in there. Anyways, we tried, lesson learned, and we're gonna
that being
do
said,
things
though,
differently for 10 rounds.
That being said, with that, don't solely rely on information groups. Like, you still got to follow up with them and stay in their DMs and keep the contact, whether it's liking on their pictures or posts. Like, you still have to deposit into the bank.
For sure. But I think the difference is that like people didn't have information on what Nourish was.
For sure.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you guys we didn't empower you with the information to like give you the tools or to tell you what tools to even find, and to be able to really have that information in your tool belt to be able to share with people. So I think it just overall, just lesson learned on that one. We feel like there's a much better way to move forward with the next couple of launches. Yeah. But there was some conversation today about launches. Don't wait for this launch. 10 rounds is going to be great, but don't wait for it. I used to do that all the time. And then you miss out on what's right in front of you right now. So just focus on what we have right now. Finish out with Nourish right now. Consider starting a 21-day group or like 4 weeks of the prep, 21-day fix extreme, just something that you can start after Nourish and moving into March. That would be my plan. Yeah. And then, we'll focus on 10 rounds once we have all of the details for that.
And we did a sample workout of 10 rounds when we were in LA, and it was incredible.
Group for Nourish is coming tomorrow.
Yeah, it was incredible. And then I got dragged up on stage with Elise.
And Shorty punched Joel.
Yeah.
We just talked about that.
Yeah.
She punched him in the workout. He was walking through the crowd and she was doing the 10 rounds. I punched him.
Yeah.
I was so embarrassed. It was bad.
I thought it was awesome.
I'm like, stay out of my space, buddy. Like,
Yeah.
oh my God, it was so funny.
Well, he did say when you punched me, he's like, well, at least that was a punch.
Yeah, he's like, that was good. That's what I like. But oh my God.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like 45.
Did you tell Trish that yet, Shorty? Because she would freak.
No, I didn't tell her.
Trish wouldn't wash her hand after.
Yeah.
Too funny. Okay, that's it. I could sit and chat with you guys all night, but I'm gonna let you go because you're busy human beings. All right, we love you guys. We will post the recording of this in the Phantom Empire team page and the tracker sheet that we said. You want a picture? I stole one of everyone while you were just like randomly looking at things, but I'll take a better one. You gotta wait for the camera. Okay, everyone say cheese. Or just smile because I can't hear you say cheese. That's fine.